Stocks close higher after trade talks with China restart. Stocks ended higher on Thursday as trade talks between China and the US restarted, but fears that the economy may be slowing down persisted. The Dow gained 91 points as shares of Nike and JP Morgan Chase financials and consumer discretionary were among the best performing sectors in the S&P 500, rising 0.8% and 0.6%, respectively. PVH Corp. Reuters reported overnight that Chinese officials made unprecedented offers regarding forced technology transfers as well as other major sticking points. The report comes at still. Trade between China and the US has been a key issue for Wall Street as investors fear a prolonged standoff between the world's largest economies could hinder corporate profits and economic growth. The negotiations between the two countries continue amid growing concern of an economic slowdown as the bond market flashes signals that a recession could come soon. The closely watched 10-year Treasury rate hit its lowest level since December of 2017. This comes after the 10-year rate recovered some ground on Thursday, however, trading at 2.388%. In economic news, the U.S. economy grew by 2.2% in the fourth quarter, according to the government's final read released Thursday. CNBC's Sylvia Amaro contributed to this report.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.